a second here for this to theory go live. Hello everyone. Jason Sigel here, trying out something new. Figured I'd give this vlogging thing a try. I figured I'd cover why here at the very beginning. I'm calling this 000 because I have no flipping clue what I'm doing here. My first thought here is I've got a lot of content I kind of want to make. I've got a queue of ideas that I've been talking about. I've done some collaboration stuff with some other people on the channel, outside of the channel, but I've been very sporadic putting my own content up. And the reason is that I just don't do it enough on my own to, get a workflow down, to understand how to create the graphics, to edit when my things need edited, to, kind of go through the whole process. So I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to try to do it weekly, probably Fridays. My intention was to do this at about 10 a.m. this morning, but as with many, many things in my life, I approach these things with an intention to do something, and it doesn't actually end up happening. So that's always a bit of fun there. So it's now 10:48, 10:49 at night. Finished my workout, got the kids to bed. Wife's at work. She's off in about 10 minutes. We'll be on our way home. I figured I'd knock this out. I was going to be very upset with myself if I didn't do it. I decided Monday, I think this week, that this was going to be a thing I was going to do. And really wanted to go down the road and force myself to do it. I was trying to talk myself out of it for like the past 2 hours because I'm tired. It's been a long week, and I kind of just want to go to bed. But no, consistency is the key here. My friend Tom Lawrence, he's done hundreds and hundreds of these in a row. He does them every Thursday. I don't think they always hit on Thursday, but most of the time he does them on Thursdays. Not intending to necessarily copy off of him at all. Just trying to do something and improve my own video quality, my own production. Kind of a secondary goal here is I have a lot of thoughts. Most people in the space that know me know I'm kind of opinionated. I can't promise that this is going to be full of spicy takes this whole time, but they'll probably occasionally come out. Just kind of as an outlet for things that I think of that throughout the week that kind of don't rise to their own video or their own content, LinkedIn posts, whatever. My intention is eventually to stream this to LinkedIn as well as I think it's going to Facebook and YouTube right now. Eventually, I'll probably try to send it to LinkedIn too when I get better at it first before I go sending it there. So we're just trying it on those two first. The two platforms where I'm a little bit less active. I figured we'd shoot and target those first and then move on to other ones as I got better at it. The kind of the last thing driving me here is I'm starting to try to journal again, and I'll get to that here in a second, but it's been very good for me. I guess I'll dive into it now. At the beginning of 2020, right before COVID, I went to Frankly MSP Live, which was an amazing event put on by Avik. Ashley Cooper, who's now at Gradient, convinced me to come. It was right after Code Mash, literally the next week. We came back from Code Mash. I left the kids with my parents, and my wife and I got on a plane literally the day after we got back from the conference and flew to California. She wanted me for a focus group. Focus group was really good. My wife went out and hung out with some of the other participants not in the focus group, went to a winery, had a really good time. I did the focus group and had an amazing time. It was a really good conference. I'm sad there's not been another one since. Here it might eventually return, maybe 2024, I think they were targeting. But one of the things that happened out there is the keynote was delivered by Nigel Moore of Tech Drive fame. And back then, this was back before anyone would have known who I was in the channel. It's crazy to me to think that this gigantic ride that hit a very high last week has only been going on for slightly over 2 years. And I asked Nigel and Richard Tubb We kind of got like these little speed dating rounds where we could talk to them. And I asked both of them what they do to stay sane, right? I was starting to take more leadership responsibility in our company. I was still VP of Ops at the time. I was kind of transitioning. We knew Alan was going to be transitioning out. He's my business partner, slowly working on retiring. He's the one that I'm slowly transitioning ownership of the company from. And both of them, without hesitation, said two things: meditation and journaling. So, I've been kind of kicking around needing to make a change. And from the beginning of 2020 until, I don't know, probably July or August, or maybe even later, I journaled every day and I meditated most days. As it turns out, by the end of July, August, at some point, it stopped being helpful to me and started being something I viewed as more of a chore. And I kind of let the habit die off. And I realized in hindsight that that is probably the period of personal growth, not technical growth, but personal growth I had in my life that was highest. So, this is going to be probably part of that journey. Give me a spot to just outlay thoughts that are sticking around in my head so they can go away and I don't have to think about them anymore. So another thing kind of driving this is I have another thing going on right now in my life. It's been a very, very active year for travel for me. We kind of ended COVID. I've been to a ton of conferences this year, more than I've ever been into in my life. And I came back from ChannelCon and I got on the scale and was not at all pleased with the number that met me. And so a combination of things, right? A couple of conferences where I drank enough that I felt I probably got a little more out of control than I intended to, combined with the weight gain. I decided I needed to make a change. And so, I sought out, what I was going to do, kind of started on a diet program, not really exercising, but in August, I started a diet program. Right now, it's been about 3 months, I think. I guess 3 months since then. I'm down slightly over 20 pounds. But, recently I decided it was time to kind of kick that into the next level, right? It's not enough to simply be doing dieting. So I actually, it's backwards. I got a trainer. I came to know this guy from watching Dave Kennedy keynote at GurCon last year. He talked about it briefly again this year. And I, first of all, need to figure out how to reverse that video. But that's one of the things I guess I'm going to have to learn here because it's definitely backwards, at least in my screen. And I signed up. It's very expensive. It is not at all a small amount of money. I just finished my first week with him, and I am presently broken. I tweaked my back a little bit. I don't think it has anything to do with him. I could barely walk a day. I just finished my third week workout of the week. He's got me on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule because I told him that would work for me. I have a feeling I'm going to have trouble lifting my arms tomorrow, and I think my legs will be okay this time. But, I'm kind of going on this fitness journey and figured that this would be another avenue for me to document that journey, right? Like document, where I'm at, how I'm feeling, how it's going, just try to share with the world how to be better. I also intend to talk about more technically things, or probably not really super technical, probably more channel things. The content I intend to produce outside of this will likely be technical content. I have definitely some content. I have a bunch of hardware that is sitting here that I want to do some content around, things like Security Onion. I've been playing with that a bit. Just other general technical things that I find interesting. Just try to keep my own skill set up. I was very technical for a long time. Trying not to let those skills erode away as I move more into management. So, hoping that wasn't intending this to go super long tonight. So I'll kind of go on to the last thing I kind of wanted to cover here, which was, outside of those things, what have I been up to? Well, last week I was here again. It's probably still backwards. Actually, I'll go away from that. I'm gonna figure out how to fix that real quick. So I'm going to OBS and see if we can't fix it. Output. Probably want to actually do it in here. Settings, video, mirror camera. There we go. I think that's probably, yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. So I think I got it now. So we'll go back to that now. That's much better. That's what I think we're supposed to be seeing. I already mirror my camera inside of OBS. So because I'm doing screen sharing, I probably don't want to do that. I just got back from 2 events last week. The first one, which I don't have highlighted here, was the Ingram Micro 1 event. The Ingram Micro 1 event was a good time. Those events aren't really for me. They're super salesy. I don't really do well with that. But it's still good seeing, that community that I know fairly well. But then after going through Hurricane Nicole, which is almost a bucket list item for me, I am a weather nerd, and going through what was a tropical storm when it hit us was really cool. But then we moved over, we switched hotels and a whole thing in the middle of the week because we were afraid we were going to be too far away at the hotel that the Ingram event was. We came to IT Nation Connect. A couple of things happened at IT Nation Connect. Those of you that have seen my content before noticed I previously had a beard, and I'll get to that in a second. But the first thing that happened was I got prodded and poked by Ray, whose hat I'm presently wearing, from OIT several times to participate in this rap battle that they were doing at IT Nation Connect. I don't rap. Rap's not really my music style. It's okay. I've grown to tolerate it and appreciate it a little bit later in life, but it's definitely not my preferred music style. But I got prodded. I got told they would help. I got some help, actually, depending on which of the things I did, a good amount of help with the lyrics. And I picked the music, that backing vocals, and I practiced them exactly once. I went out on the stage. The guy that went in front of me apparently has 15. He's a sales guy for ConnectWise, Zian. He's got 15 years experience rapping. He went out there and crushed it. And my immediate thought was, this is a joke. I am the butt of it, and I am the only one that does not know. And I kind of decided in that exact moment, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to have a good time. And so I went out there and I did the rap battle, and I somehow won. I shouldn't have won. I don't think I should have won. Z definitely should have won. He was way better than I was. But, I think the crowd took pity on the guy that stood up there and rapped against the professional rapper. So I ended up taking home a nice trophy, a little prize. I picked a Steam Deck, so that'll be nice to have. The kids, my 2 kids, Jacob and Ben, and my wife Heather, they were in the audience. The kids thought it was the best thing in the world. They came up on stage at the end. It was a really good time. But then, more importantly, at the end of that, 18 of us, 17 plus me, of us, led by Matt Lee, arranged by Ian and Carrie Richardson, we shaved our beards. We raised, we were aiming, we had $142,000 with 2 days to go. But as it turns out, we ended up raising $202,000 for charities. It's going to directly support, I believe, 20 charities with 5 of those charities getting $20,000, and then the remaining 15 charities each getting 5,000. And it's been weird. Shaved the beard off, and there's definitely more chins than I would like under the chin. So yeah, it's a thing. So cannot overstate how proud I was to be part of that effort. The kids and my wife were there again. The kids were on stage. They were all tearing up. Everyone was happy, and it was joyous, and it was an amazing time. And in this journey, I've made amazing friends. The group of us that were doing it, we've dubbed ourselves the hodgepodge of idiots. We've gotten closer. We've gotten to know each other. Some people I only knew peripherally, I would consider friends now. And we did a really great thing. So I can't overstate how proud I am to have been part of that. And if the sacrifice is, a beard that I really only had for about 2 years, then, I'll deal with it. It'll grow back. It's already to this double stage. But anyways, I figured this would go about 15 minutes tonight. I don't intend it to be long. It'll probably get longer as time goes on. I've got a notebook I'm keeping ideas from and things I want to talk about, along with the normal journaling that I'm starting to back up. And I should be back next Friday with another one of these. And until then, thank you, and I will talk to everyone later. Bye.